Stories. Now, before we continue discussing about grief, I want to ask Rory first. Have you ever experienced deep grief?
I think I haven't experienced deep grief, but this is one of my biggest fear in life, losing my parents. And I, converse with a lot of my friends that for those of them who are still having two parents, that's their biggest fear, losing either one or both of them. So by learning this, through this discussion, I can anticipate.
That's right.
Right. So, Yani, thank you for the question. But what about you?
Both of my parents are still alive as well, which I'm very grateful for that. Which I'm pretty scared for that day to happen too. You know, the day when I will lose them. But I did lose my grandma when in 2007. That was pretty hard for me because that was, I think, the first time that I lost someone close.
Right.
But I think for now, I think I'm okay. I'm sitting next to her, I'm gonna start crying. So no, I think I'm fine. I mean, I would say that was one of the biggest loss in my life.
And from this conversation, hopefully we can learn to anticipate, right? If that day comes eventually. Right, so talking about GriefFest 2024. So there will be GriefFest 2024 in conjunction with the 4th anniversary celebration of Grief Talk, right? So tell us about the fest even more.
Okay, so actually this is more like, I don't know how to say it in English, ini tuh program nekat.
All right, this is a
gutsy,
project.
Gutsy project.
Because it's a very niche topic and it's a taboo topic, but yet we want to make a festival out of it. So it's like, what are we doing? But I see Grief Talk Festival as a extension of Grief Talk, what we've been trying to do for 4 years. Because not many people know that we have this community and this community can help people, so that we want this festival so that people can know more and then we can help people more. So that's the idea. But talking about the Grief Fest itself, as you may know, there's a lot of festivals. So of course there will be speakers talking about grief and talking about loss from many point of views, from the experts, from the people who lost their families. But also we want to make this festival a bit different because we think that this is like a very sensitive topic.
Right.
We have to have a different approach. We want to have more like empathic approach. So aside from the part there's going to be festivals and speakers, we have installation arts that will validate people's emotions, the ups and downs during the grief.
Right.
So
when I first heard about this fest, what pops up in my mind was that it's going to be sorrow, it's going to be dark, it's going to be sad. Is that the case, or how would you package this fest to be the opposite of that?
Actually, we want to celebrate every feelings, because at the end of the day, like life, we have ups and downs, right? And then there's also grief. There's grief, there's confused, there's happy, and then there's gratefulness, and then there's joy, but then there's, you realize that grief is hard, and then you're down again, and then you're up again. So we want to celebrate all of those emotions, because at the end of the day, life is like that.
Yes.
And then we want to validate those feelings with the art installation that we have. That's why we partner with Ganara Art. And I know that Ganara Art can, make our ideas come true. So we hope that we can make the people who come to our festival to really experience and to their feelings get validated. That's the idea.
It is interesting because whenever we're talking about festival, it's a celebration, right? But then this is a grief festival. But then again, in the beginning, you said grief is like you have to in parallel walk together, grief and grateful. So it's perfect, right? Grief festival, it's just perfect. So if we're talking about workshops, will there be workshops, and how do you think that will help the participants in this workshop?
So we are bringing some of our programs that we have for the past 4 years to the event, we are going to have the support group as well. And we are going to have the Let's Ask Grief where there's experts. And then we also have another different class. We call it the therapeutic expressive art class, visual. So not all people can express by words and verbal. And maybe this class will help them to, you know, express it with the visual, with paintings, and that kind of classes that we have.
So it's interactive.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow. All right. So this is based on what you experienced first, right? After you experienced a tough 7 years, you wanted to get over it. And then you came to a realization where you need to accept it. And maybe many of our viewers are at the getting over it period now. How to shift that getting over it period to accepting it? What should our viewers do? First thing first.
Okay. Well, maybe first of all, we need to realize there's no such a thing as getting over, because how do I explain this? When you lose somebody that is very significant to you, you have this special relationship, and then you have love, right? And when this person die, like the body is not there anymore, the relationship is still there, the love is still there. So we have to acknowledge that we can still have that love, we can still have the relationship in a different way. We can still do whatever they maybe wanted to do that they cannot do anymore, so we can continue their legacy. We can try to do all those things, and hopefully we can get into acceptance, and then maybe hopefully we can find new purpose in life, because maybe when that person dies, some of our purpose in life also dies. So maybe through acknowledging that the relationship will not be over. We will still have that relationship forever.
Or even continuing their legacy, that also helps in overcoming grief.
Yes.
All right. So, girls, ladies, enough for the discussion. Let's now, for us to really have fun, and maybe we've got Nara, right? Nira. So the nickname is Nira, to enlighten us about whether we paid attention to you fully or not. So we've got on the plasma, there will be appearing a statement about how to support a griever. Yanena will choose whether it is a do or don't. And Nira will help us to answer whether it's a do or a don't. Let's start with the first picture, shall we?
Okay.
Oh, this is the text. Say anything that starts with the phrase "at least."
Oh no!
At least.
No, that's a don't. Do not say that.
I would agree that's a don't as well.
Yeah, if someone lost like their pet or something, it's like, well, at least it's not your other pet, right? You can't really say that.
Or just what Nira experienced. If I lose my parents, at least I still have my family, right? So it is a don't. Is that right?
That's a big don't.
That's a big don't.
That's a big don't. You guys got it right. Yeah.
Okay, it's a
big don't.
Can you explain it a bit more?
Well, maybe it is true. And maybe it comes from a good intention. But that's not how we when we just lost somebody, that's not how we see the world, right? So we just need to be able to be in that position. And if you are in that position, you won't think that, okay, at least I still have my, no. So,
you shouldn't belittle your grief. Instead, you should accept it as a life.
Acceptance, I think, is acceptance is a result. But in the situation where you just lost somebody, it's hard to think that way. And when you say at least, even though it's like a positive point of view, but it's not. I don't think it's an empathic approach.
All right. Thank you so much, Nira. Let's now move on to the second statement, shall we? Being overly positive, or well, I can say it's toxic positivity.
Yeah.
So it's a big don't to me.
So being positive is okay, but being overly positive is not, right?
Yeah.
So
Is that right?
Yes, but we can.
There's a but. Okay.
Okay. So when you grieve, of course you want to. There's people who want to, like, okay, I need time. I need time off. But there's also people who want to, still being active.
Yeah.
And you can do that, and that's being positive, and that's okay. But if you're like, well, let's say you like going to a gym, and then instead of crying at home, you say, okay, I'm just gonna go to a gym. That's okay, positive.
Okay.
As long as you are going to the gym with the awareness that I'm going to a gym not because I don't want to feel the sadness,
Yeah.
but because I just want to do something good to my body. I know I'm sad, but I don't want to be sad right now. I want to be sad later, but now I want to go to gym. So it's a different, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's people who, okay, I don't want to feel this. I'm just going to go to a gym.
Yeah.
That's
putting it
Or there are
aside.
many people who want to avoid this by compensating them to do many negative things. I want to go to the gym and maybe I want to get drunk. I want to doing some negative things to their body in hopes that they will avoid this.
Yeah.
But eventually they will come back
Of
to
course.
this problem, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Without overcoming anything.
Yes, yes.
Right. Thank you for that explanation, Nira. Let's now go to the third statement. Offer a specific way to help. I would say yes. Do.
Yeah. I don't know. I always want to help, right? But sometimes I don't know, like a specific way to help. I don't know.
But
I'm
don't you
gonna
think,
say-
Nira, although we don't have that capacity to help,
Yeah,
at least
right?
we become a good listener? Would that help?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a big yes. And then this is also a yes, because sometimes people just ask, how can I help you? That's different from
okay.
this, right? This is a specific way to help, like, okay, do you want me to go there? Or do you want me to listen to you? Or do you want whatever? Have you eaten? Do you want me to send you food? That's a specific way to help, so it's a big yes.
Yeah, okay.
But it's confusing when people ask you, how can I help?
Yeah.
Do you need my help? Like we can, okay, I do or I don't, and then there's feeling like I'm going to make these people feel, we are going to make them feel even more disturbed because we need help from other people. So yeah.
Okay, okay. Right, so
Be
it's a
specific.
yes. Be specific.
Specific.
Right, let's now move on to the next, please. Avoid pushing for closure. It's a big no.
That's what you know.
You don't push, right?
Yes.
Everybody
okay.
have their own
Timeline.
Yeah.
Timeline.
Yes.
Let's now go to the last one. Listen without judging. I would say this is a big yes.
This is a big yes.
A do, yes.
Yes,
definitely.
this is a big
Yeah, most
yes.
of our society, not most of our society, but many of people would say, of course you experience that because you blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's a big no-no for judging people. Just being a good listener, that would be really helpful.
And this is very, very hard to listen without judging because, we're people. We want to judge. We want to give opinion. We want to help. And maybe sometimes when we help, maybe we are judging. So let's just listen.
All right, Nira, so we have reached our final time. How to participate in Grief Fest? What should we do if we want to,
Where to
join?
contact you too.
Yes, you can visit our Instagram, grieftalk.id. We have 3 kinds of tickets. You can read all of the informations there. It's 7 December from 10:30 to 8 and 9. There's going to be people that you already know from the mental health experts, like Mas Aji Santoso Putro, ada Riza Putantro, and then we have also psychologists, psychiatrists. So there will be, we can learn in a fun way, but also validating your emotions through the arts installation.
What is the Instagram account again?
Grieftalk.id.
Grieftalk.id.
Yes.
Right. Your last word for people who may be experiencing grief right now.
Yeah.
What is it?
To be out of pain is to feel the pain.
To be out of pain is to feel the pain. Wow. Mira, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
here, for sharing us
me.
about how to cope with grief.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. So, all right, that's the end of our talk show for now. See the stories will continue after the break. Stay tuned with us. Thank you so much.